Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor and I help people navigate through their awakening process. Today I'm going to share with you how you can kind of ground yourself if you find you have too much Kundalini or spirit energy in your body to the point that it's causing disruptions and complications. This might sound like a silly thing, but the ones who are experiencing this know exactly what I'm talking about. This is what happened to me, and what I'm finding with a lot of the interviews and the people I'm talking with, I'm finding this is becoming more and more commonplace. Life seems to be presently shaking people into an awakening in sort of an accelerated way. And a lot of you guys might find that you have had this energetic or this Kundalini eruption, awakening in your life, and it might have been kind of a though bizarre, neat and transcendent type of experience. The aftermath, it's almost like a circuit has had way too much electricity blown through it. It's fried and it's just too much. And if this is a situation you're in, then a lot of the common spiritual type of advice is actually going to make that condition worse. That's why I wanted to make this video, because I experienced this myself. I had a premature or a very an intense Kundalini awakening that totally burnt me out and it messed me up in a sense initially for a little while there. And there I could not find how to help my condition. I would look online and I would take some of the advice like meditate, yoga, eat like a more higher vibration, lighter diet. All that, even though it's awesome, I'm always recommending it. In that particular case, it made the energy, it gave me more energy, which I already had an overabundance of it, and so in a sense, it just made my condition way worse. So I'm gonna give you some tips, some do's and don'ts if this is you, okay? So number one of the best things you can do is walk. Go for a walk. Just go outside, lace up your shoes, and go for a nice walk. Walk as much as possible. Walking is grounding. You're bringing that energy, which oftentimes it wants to naturally kind of go up. So a lot of times when we have too much of this Kundalini energy, it gets stuck in our head and upper chakras and causes confusion and just a feeling of spaciness and like you're living in a dream, that kind of thing. You're just not very grounded. Probably hard to communicate with people. Walking again will sort of help draw that energy down. And there can be, even though if you in general have too much energy, one walk can give you an immediate effect, a noticeable effect, where you can feel the energy kind of come back down, and it's like all the symptoms kind of go away immediately. And even though it might kind of come back up if you're still kind of balancing out, it's certainly keep walking. Walk as much as possible. I just talked to a guy the other day, my buddy. He called me up and he was going through this exact same situation. And I think I talked to him not too long ago before this recent phone call and mentioned to him to walk. And he said the walking has been helping him tremendously. He's in this exact same situation. So walk, it's so simple. People are they listen to it and they go, okay, next, walking might be the best piece of advice I have in this situation. Number two is to eat heavier foods. Eat the high vibration foods, the vegan type of foods. They're awesome, they're healthy, they're amazing, but they're good because they allow that energy to flow more freely. So that it'll kind of help tune you in really nicely. But if you're already at this point overly tuned in, have too much energy, and that's just going to kind of again open up your the pathways so even more can come about. So you don't want that. Eat heavier foods for now. You can always switch it up when the timing is better for you. And lastly, go into nature. Go just sit somewhere by nature. Find a tree to go near. It just has a grounding and balancing effect. I won't say anything more. You guys all know what it means to go into nature. Just take time out of your day and schedule that in and go do that. It'll help you tremendously. If you go for a nice walk, chill in nature, come home and eat a nice big meal, you're going to feel like a different person. Now some don't. So what you don't want to do in this situation is you don't want to do too much meditation. Especially, I would highly recommend you not do any chakra balancing or one-pointed focused meditation where you're trying to clear a particular chakra or anything, because you're just going to be, the energy is already too much there, and when you focus on a certain chakra, you bring more. You're going to sort of pool that energy and bring even more energy to, so it's a stimulating activity. So I'd recommend not doing that. Same with yoga. Yoga's awesome. I do yoga. I love it. But in this case, it's just gonna, again, it's gonna open up your channels too much. You're already got an overabundance going on. So don't do any yoga at this point. And lastly, just simply avoid anything that you find makes you feel less stable, more unbalanced, where it just tends to stimulate the energy. I found that intense exercise brought about too much energy. I found reading, I had to drop out of college for a while. Reading had the same effect, but that's just me. Just start to kind of pay attention to how various things affect that energy. So this is all recommendations to do if you're in this situation. I also want to kind of remind, if you're watching this video, I know this video might not get as many views as my other one because it's kind of speaking to a specific situation, which I know not everyone is in, but this is something I found lacking. There was nothing like this when I was going through it, and when this was happening to me, it was such a pressing matter, so stressful, because I didn't really know what was happening. I didn't know if I'd ever be back to normal, if I'd ever calm down, if the energy would ever settle, if I'd ever have my clarity and my energy back and my restful sleep. I had no idea. I didn't know what the hell was going on. All of it will go away. This is only temporary. It does get better. You will eventually look back and see it as really nothing. I look back and it's like a foggy, distant memory, even though at the time it was a massive deal. But regardless, if I was to contemplate it, I would certainly value or judge what had happened to me, even though it was a pain in the ass for a million different reasons, as a huge blessing. This energy is waking you up. It's allowing the real you to kind of come out to play, just to kind of be in the world. It's dissolving the character that has kept you in bondage and obscured your potential for true freedom and happiness and liberation. And that's what it's doing. Even though it's disorienting and disruptive for a time, the process will start to wind itself down, and you'll find that you are a lot lighter. Emotionally speaking, lighter, more clear, happier, more content, more balanced, more of all the things you want in life. It's in your cards if you're going through this craziness right now. And it is my hope that this video can again alleviate your symptoms initially as best as they can be, and also give you hope and remind you of something you already know, because I know you know this. There's a part of you that knows this even now, that it's all going to be worth it for you. So hope that helps. Have an amazing day. Namaste.